Hey guys, what's up? It's schllo coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with schllo. And today was, as I've already said throughout the whole day, a very gloomy day. We have discussed this a few times. I'm going through a lot. I don't really want to get into it publicly, but not that anybody really watches these anyway. But yeah, it's been a very rough time. And some thoughts I'm having, not only cuz I'm basically not getting discounts on stuff, which of course was the whole lesson, just to not care about discounts. I almost wonder if it's a firm smack in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like God telling me firmly, like, forget about it. The discounts don't matter. Please just be chill from now on. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have purchased what I purchased, which I'm keeping a secret for now. But and maybe forever. But in general, we're good to go. In general, what am I saying? Yeah, I just wonder, like, the lesson, because I feel like that's the lesson. I feel like that is the ultimate lesson here to be had, to learn from, whatever. It's that, I'm really trying to maximize things with the numbers and the deals and my material wealth and things like that. And I guess it just really doesn't make that much sense, It's kind of like we're in a transition phase. I think my choice to have this year of austerity is no coincidence. It's no coincidence. I really think my whole life it's almost been intentional. I've been so torn between, like, really being anxious about money, really being anxious about material things. I always was. That's just how I always was. I still am pretty anxious materially. And, how it shows is it shows in numerous ways, really. It's not like just one way, but what I'm realizing now is I'm really having, like, a major transmutation. And I think I've been, like, so back and forth with this my whole life, where it's like I am a hoarder. I love material things. In some ways I'm materialistic, but then, like, I flip, and it's in some ways I have this, like, degree of insight that is far beyond most people when it comes to the immaterial. It's almost like I've been in this, intermediary kind of, like, switching back and forth. Like, it's really a odd situation. It's not something I don't know of anybody who it feels this way or is that, like, conflicted about things. Like, I think most people are just a straight shot, whether they like something or not. But that is not the case, for me. Like, I've always been at this, like, really weird crossroads, if that makes any sense. It's certainly been, a strange situation. And so I feel like when this kind of stuff happens to me, it's like, it's got to be some kind of reminder. It's got to be some kind of something. I feel like it has to mean something, right? Because it's just the things I go through, like, they don't make too much sense in either direction. Whether it's the good luck that happens to me or the bad luck that happens to me, like, it's always, like, it's always odd. It's always weird. And I don't know. I feel like what I was originally going to say for this car ride was it was going to be sort of like a plea. It was going to be a despair of like, why am I put into these kind of situations? I'm grateful. I constantly try to be grateful even when, so many other people I know just whine and whine. I always think about gratitude, and here I am getting like really emotionally hurt. And just I was just going to ask like, what is it all? But I think it's the same thing I've kind of known. All these trials are just meant to make me a stronger person, a tougher person. Certain people tried to advise me in life, and I just wasn't able to. Yeah, I lost. I guess at the end of the day, I'm going to have to succumb to that. That there were people who tried to give me certain guidance, and I really wanted to prove them wrong. But I think, now that I've grown as much as I have as a person, I see that a lot of people were right. And I kind of dove into this messy situation, and I just don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's been, but the growth, hopefully the growth makes it worth it. That's what you have to hope for, is that if I would have taken the safe route, like a lot of the decisions I've made, they're life altering. I wouldn't be the same person if I didn't do the things I did and didn't experience things in this way. I don't know what would have made me tougher, but what my conundrum is that I want to try to figure out is, what am I supposed to do from here? Is it time to numb out a little bit and become strong? Is that what it's time for? To find my independence and to be self-sufficient and not wavered by companies lying and coupons lying. I think it's really to be able to strike a balance. This is how I was thinking of it in my head before the episode. My ability to see things as they are more accurately than most people, it's an incredibly important skill. The fact that I can calculate things and quantify things. On average, I save more money than most people. I can really hyper optimize due to my blend of OCD and manias that I go through. And just, my brain. Now, physically, I can be lazy. So there's certain flaws with that. I think other people maybe physically have more physical aptitude than me. But what I'm realizing is it's about a balance. It's about finding a way to still be aware of things, but not get upset when things go wrong. Try my best, but if things don't work out, that's okay. And that's not a thought that I've had. There's been a lot of things I've vented about on this show. I've, been upset with other people about, and I kind of feel like that is the optimal thing, is to, be quiet, be silent but deadly. Still be very aware of a lot of these injustices, but to not break down when they're dealt to me. But to keep track, but to find other sources of enjoyment, to find other things to try to keep going. I think it's just such an important thing to consider in life, right? I think I've talked about this before, because I don't know that becoming numb is really worth it. I don't know that that's really what God wants. I feel like, I really want to say that my emotionalness is a fairly good thing. Like it's special, and having emotion, having actual feeling about things, it's rare nowadays, and there's a lot of pain in that. But I truly do think that I shouldn't squander that. I have to learn how to balance it. You know what I mean? Like there has to be some kind of balance where I learn to feel the emotion and can express it in a different way. I think the show is a good thing to just vent about things on the show and not to people. The only problem with that is there's no true sense of care. I mean, it's possible there will be at some point if I actually had a fan base, so I guess that could work. But either way, it's like I wonder, how hard do you have to be broken before things finally change? Like I think we could be at the cusp of something, because I don't know, but I'm not very stable right now. Like I was really sad earlier. I wanted to cry earlier. Not only because of all the emotional distress I'm dealing with, but how I really lost a lot of money because they didn't give me this deal they were supposed to give me. And it's different from the PayPal thing. I don't want to talk about it. I know the PayPal thing's not going through, but this other deal did not go through that came up, and it was really good. And I'm losing quite a bit of money. And I shouldn't be, but it's kind of my own like over obsessiveness and stress that kind of caused it a little bit. But it's it's just was a silly, frustrating situation that I honestly don't think is going to get resolved. I just don't think it's going to get resolved. I basically lost a lot of money, but and I was really upset because that hitting me in the face with what I'm already dealing with is hard. It's really difficult to be beaten while you're down, but I there has to be something to learn. Like, I don't know. I want to think that God wouldn't let me down. I know I don't think I've been spiritual enough. I don't think I've spent enough time with God. And, I can easily admit that. But I don't think I've seen God let me down yet. Look, the longer I've lived, even though there's been times, I don't think he's let me down. Like, he's never really let me down. And it's like, I don't know. Does that make sense? It's like, I just don't really know that I should be worried. I don't feel that I should be worried. It's, I've never really been let down. Of course I have in the short term, but, as time has progressed and all, I just haven't been let down. Looking backwards for where I'm at now, it's okay. I set too high of a standard for myself. And like I said, materially, I've always felt like I needed to be rich. I've always just had these higher tastes for things. And it's upsetting that for most of my life then, I just been constantly thinking and fearing about being homeless. It's a shame that I was stuck there, and even now, I still kind of think like that. Honestly, the scarcity is not completely gone. It's not. I still, even in this moment, feel like I spent too much money and thinking about scarcity and stuff. And it might be true, but I think there's probably just a lesson to be learned. It's just some kind of material lesson to come out of it. So, yeah, I mean, we're still here. We're still kicking, but I'm just trying to extract what I can from the situation, and I think that's it. I think it's just like, it's powerful to let things not affect you. And I've really been letting much too many things affect me. But again, I don't want to really, I want to find out some kind of concise way. It's not even about articulation, it's about feeling. How do you feel without being numb? How do you become somebody who can not be fazed by things but still enjoy? Because it's that axis that causes problems. It's when, you feel good to the good, then it will cause you to feel bad to the bad. Whereas if you're numb to both, that's really the path to enlightenment. But how could we really crack that code? What I was just thinking about is, wanting to be a speaker or a philosopher. Am I really going to come up with anything that hasn't already been thought of? That's really the crux of what being a philosopher is. And the truth is, I talk about a lot of things on this show. When I talk to regular people about it, they're impressed. I get that all the time. Oh, I never thought about that way. Oh, that's pretty interesting. But ultimately, I don't know that I've said anything that isn't already been known or more pushed by somebody else. And that's obviously a problem, because I would like to getting a bunch of intrusive thoughts about an unrelated thing. Kind of losing my train of thought. But that really, I think that's a true goal. It's a true goal that we have to figure out what our purpose is. And I think, I just think like materialism, I don't know. Am I really supposed to I don't know that I'm supposed to fully transmute it, because I can appreciate very nice things, material, but, and I hope someday I'm fortunate, but with the way things are going, I think I would feel kind of guilty if I was, because a lot of people are going to be in ruins pretty soon, so I'm not really too sure about, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a tough thing to figure out. It's a very tough thing to figure out, I think. Yep. So I don't know. I want some kind of insight. I want to be able to figure that out. To hold people strictly accountable. What's interesting is I almost feel like in my own life, I can see how I have the foundation for that. Someone who can, like if I could just be able to switch into a colder mode, because I'm very warm a lot. I'm very warm, and when you're warm and something bad happens, it's hot, but when you're cold and something bad happens, you're cool. And I have to figure out, like, how did I get to this point where I have become more emotional? It's been a development as a person, but I know that there's somewhere in me that has like a calmness, although to be fair, with what I've been dealing with, I think I am handling it calmer than pretty much anybody. So that's fair, but I don't know, there's something to it. There's just something to it. I hope this isn't all just cope. I know I'm still going to be hurting tomorrow and hurting the next day, and this could be the end of this series as we know it, like just in a couple weeks or something. I have no idea what's happening, you know? I mean, I'll still record, I'll still talk, but it's not going to be this anymore. Or it's possible, you know? I have no idea anymore. It's like, it's kind of it. It's too uncertain, it's too confusing, and what was the message? What was the point in it all? You know? What was the takeaway? It's difficult to say. But that's how I feel. I feel like I learned so much, and then most people around me don't really change much. But it could be my age, it could be what I'm experiencing, what I'm going through. It's interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Is part of my, like, I have to just accept uncertainty? Could I be like a pretty powerful person if I learn to just square things properly, like accepting what I can do, and, you know, if I am going to end up on the street or whatever, like, I don't know, you know, what can be done anyway about that? It's like, it's a shame, but, you know, not sure what can be done, really. Because I get worried, and I can't, I don't know. But I'm looking for some kind of advice or clarity, or I want something to happen. But I think, you know, right now I'm getting to talk. I'm still in my car. But to have to sleep with what's going on, that's really the tricky part, is to sleep with it, and to not. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what to do, really. It's such trickiness life brings. Such trickiness. Yeah, I'm sorry for the silence, but I think I'm feeling more than thinking. I think I'm feeling, and I'm good at turning words into feelings, but I mean, I'm good at turning I'm good at turning feelings into words, but it's just, I feel like I had this surge of optimism, but it's kind of waning at this point, you know? Like, I always try so hard to do that with stuff, like even when I'm down and I'm upset, I really try to, you know, cheer myself up, but it's hard for me to really be like that. I think I feel that, like, it's a pretty difficult way for me to be. So I don't know. I really, like I said, I just don't know what's to come. So it is what it is. But I know it's almost like do you think I should try less? Should I not really try as hard with things? Because I feel, and everybody still tells me like I'm not doing enough. That's what's crazy. It's all people tell me, you know. But I think like seriously what I'm doing, I mean, I'm kind of at my wits, I mean, I've said I'm at my wits end multiple times. I'm definitely overwhelmed now with, you see, the recording isn't even the half of it, it's the uploading. Like, uploading all this stuff is a lot of effort. I don't even know if I have, like, the energy to do it. Isn't that weird? Like, it's weird. I don't know that I don't really have the energy to upload. Like, it's so much work to get all the videos done and posted. It's a lot of work. It's just not easy to do at all. Like, I don't know. And I'm getting very overwhelmed. Like, I don't have everything posted, which I guess it makes sense because of how much extra there is now. Like, when it was just car rides with schllo, wasn't really that much stuff. And then now it's been the walks with schllo in addition, so it's just so much more stuff, and I can't get it all done. It's not like it matters that much, but still, I wish I was caught up, you know. And so I'm wondering, like, what but I don't think stopping recording is really the problem. Like, that's not the problem in my life. I honestly think, as overwhelming as it is, it's not the recording that's the problem. It's like the uploading that's draining. It's when I have to upload like all this stuff. It just takes so much effort. And doing the AI titles and descriptions, like, I would be happier if I just uploaded it plain blank with no title and no description. Like, that's what I want to do. But, and I think someday you're going to have that. Like, it's probably going to be built into YouTube's thing where you're not going to have to make a description or a title. That's just what I think. I think you're just not going to have to do it anymore after a while. So it's all interesting, you know. I don't even know. I don't know what I should be doing or not. But I think the talking's good for me. I just think it's the uploading is a lot, and that's why, like I said, like, ideally I would like to work in some kind of a team, where you could have somebody editing the things, somebody posting them, because everybody has like a different role, and I love to talk, but it would be better if I could just talk and not have to do like all this other stuff that isn't really my true passion. But then again, I mean, maybe I enjoy it more than a lot of people, because the fact that I've stuck with it this long, I think it's unprecedented, honestly. I know that sounds like crazy, but I honestly think in time I may be breaking some kind of a record. I mean, 300 episodes in, it's been half a year at this point. So 6 months, 300 episodes. So it's 50 episodes a month on average, right? Isn't that what that is? Oh, well, they're not all posted yet. Sorry. Well, actually, by the time you're hearing this, they're going to be posted. But they're not. Yeah, they're not posted. It's not actually posted 300 episodes in 6 months, because the post is going to be delayed. But because I do them in advance. So currently, there's not 300 uploaded as I'm recording this, but it will be once you're hearing it. And I do think that's really impressive, because remember, it's going to be For a while it was just 30 or 40-minute episodes with the occasional like mega hour when there's like a massive traffic jam or whatever. But it's a lot. I mean, I think that's a lot of episodes that are, mostly 20 minutes, but also, it's like 3 20 minutes for every 2 30 40, basically. I think it's pretty unprecedented, to be doing an average recording. Well, at first it was an average recording of like, 5 hours a week, 6 hours a week, probably. Because this guy in front of me keeps swerving over the 2 yellow lines. It's kind of concerning me, but at least he's in front of me and not behind me. But he did it 2 times already. He swerved over, that's not really a good sign. And he's kind of braking pretty randomly too. Yeah, I'm just cautious. He's also going, it seems like about 5 under the speed limit. No, he's actually going like 10 under the speed limit. That's crazy. Anyways, so yeah, I guess that's a lot there to kind of digest. I'm throwing a bunch of stuff out there, but yeah, I don't know. It's just been such a like. I just wonder though what the show would have looked like if I could just breathe. You know what I mean? If I could just breathe, if things were just okay. And yeah, like I wonder, I feel like I could be better as a person. I just do. So you kind of have to wonder what's, like, you have to compare and try to figure out what's best for yourself. Because I'm pretty sure, like, there's obviously certain merit to, like, capturing the stress and capturing how I was like given this arduous time. But, after a bunch of months, after a year, I mean, you start to just want to see, okay, but what could this guy be like if he was calm? If he wasn't in a situation where he was put under that much stress. Like, what could this guy do? You know what I mean? That's kind of the main thing I think about, I think. What could this guy do? So on one hand, like, yeah, it's nice we have such a capturing of my emotions, but moving forward, is it time for change? Is it time to try to be a little bit unstable and just try to plunge into a healthier thing? I don't even know. Things have gotten that bad that's like a consideration at this point. Isn't that saying something? And I've still been dead consistent with this show. Besides that one morning, a car ride, I had to eat my food while I drove. It was last Monday morning. Yeah, that wasn't a highlight. But I made it. And I actually haven't skipped any walks with schllo's in a while. It was just sometimes when I have like too much food for lunch, I get like that. I want to skip it, but no, it hasn't been that way in a while. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm just like trying to figure that out. But yeah, and bear in mind, like, nobody's really credited me. Like, I've gotten like zero recognition for doing all this recording. Again, for the past couple weeks, it's been like an average of 10 hours a week, split up into a bajillion different episodes. And I feel like I could do this. Like, it doesn't feel that like work. I don't know. So I think that says something about, like, if it actually was my job, how much I would do. I could probably talk more than like anybody, because like I've said, this isn't even a show. It's just me talking to myself. Like, what if What if it was, a news reporter, or like, I was giving commentary on things in addition to that? I mean, I guess sometimes I end up giving some level of commentary, but it's, that's not really always the case, I guess. But I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. I'm not mega sure. Not mega sure. Just trying to figure out. Yeah, this is what we need. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm pretty impressed with myself for even like being able to record today. But I think, again, talking, it's just so therapeutic for me. It works. It's almost like I have a lot to talk about, even though I don't know. But I don't know how long that's gonna last, because depending on how wary I get, I kind of like start and try to be tough, but I usually end up getting pretty upset after a while, if things don't really improve despite my patience, despite my effort. It gets, I can sometimes just get kind of upset. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. It's been schllo, but now it's time to buy schllo. So, see ya, schllo.